my chest, train my mind so I forget. Sink your teeth into my bones, dig me out, then fill the hole. Tell me. Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. So today I am wearing a Doc Holliday sweatshirt from Redbubble, and I don't have front earrings in. Yeah, you can tell I've been away from YouTube for a while. So I have finally finished the semester of my grad school, so hopefully I'll be able to post more on here. But today we are going to be discussing the new Nancy Drew game and my opinions on it. We're going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the eh. So I recently played Midnight in Salem, and I'm going to give my opinions and also some video shots and everything else in this video, so let's get into it. Also, if it looks weird, I'm keeping track of my battery because it looks like it's about to die, so if anything looks wonky, that's why. I have my phone here with some notes on it that I took, so let's talk about the good. I really liked the story. I'm really interested in the Salem witch trials, and so I really liked the way that the story was going. I feel like it could have developed a little bit more, or had a little bit more history in it, like some of the past games that they have had. But yeah, the story was really good. It was fairly interesting. I love the history surrounding it. I love that we were in Salem, and that you actually got to go into a museum and look around, and like the hidden bookcase thing. That was just so cool. So I really liked the story behind it. And surprisingly, I love the new voice. I actually kind of like her a little bit better than the old voice of Lonnie. And I know that sounds controversial, but even though Lonnie is the voice of Nancy Drew that I grew up with over the years, I feel like the new voice, who is Brittany Cox, is just more fresh. It fits Nancy, and when she was trying to have the more sassier moments, I felt like it hit better when Brittany did it. When Lonnie had her more sassy moments, it kind of felt awkward or forced at times. And I don't know exactly which games it felt like that, but just certain things that she would say, it just felt kind of awkward and forced. And I'm going to have a video linked down below with some other stuff linked in the comments. There was actually some controversy surrounding Lonnie as the voice of Nancy. I'll let you all read that and express your own opinions, but it kind of made me not lose trust in her, and honestly lose respect for Lonnie as Nancy. So I'm glad that they have a new voice. I love her. She's spunky. The new voice is fresh. It's new. It sounds young. It just fits Nancy, I personally think.
No, that's my opinion. You can get mad at me if you want, but I'm expressing my opinion.
So the other good that I have is also controversial because a lot of people don't like it. I actually kind of like the new controls. The one point of the control that I do like is how you're able to manipulate it by doing the right click, because you're able to investigate the area more and click on clues, and you know that you don't miss anything. I always felt like in the old point and click part of the game that I would lose clues. uh, I wouldn't click on certain clues, or I felt like I would leave something behind. So I do like the way that you manipulate the area. Sometimes it's a little hard to maneuver if you're not used to it, but I actually do really like the controls of the new game. Now, unfortunately, that's all the good. So I think I want to go ahead and get into the because some of it plays into both parts. Okay, so the of the game. First off, and I've seen a lot of comments about this, the gift shop. I wish that they had implemented, like the other games, buying stuff from the gift shops. This was such a big thing in the Captive Curse and Sea of Darkness. I know those are the two big ones. You had like the flea market, or I guess it's kind of, but the little market space in Danger by Design. Like, they've implemented shopping in so many other games. I really wish that they would have done that, especially in this game, because the gift shop looked so interesting. So I really wish that they would have implemented that into it. Get into the graphics of the game because they're kind of borderline and bad. The character design, when I first saw it, I was like, really? Like, it kind of reminds me of Life is Strange, and I've seen other quotes or other opinions that people say that, but it doesn't have the same art style that Life is Strange has. Life is Strange is a beautiful game. Like, even though it's not realistic 3D type of, like, you would be confused if it's real life or a video game. The art style of it is unique. It's its own thing. It's amazing. While Midnight in Salem does kind of resemble that in the art style, there's still not as many features of it as I would like. And the same thing with the graphics of the environment. There are, like, in the loading screen, the blades of grass, they look really good. And granted, I was playing on low graphics because that's the best way that I got my game to run, and it actually looked the best on low graphics. So I don't know what everything looks like on high graphics, but for waiting like 4 or 5 years, I expected it to look so much better. Like, Sea of Darkness, the environment in it was absolutely breathtaking, and this was kind of a letdown as far as the environment goes, especially with something like Salem. Like, they had such an amazing opportunity, and I feel like it just kind of slipped through the cracks. Like, even Hitman Absolution, that graphic style, to me, that is a beautiful game. See? Told you my battery was about to die. But anyway, I think what we were talking about was, I was just saying that the graphics could have been better, and there are a lot of people that agree with me. So hopefully, if there's going to be a new game, they'll improve on that. A lot of puzzles. For an anti-deer game, there was not that many puzzles, and the first one was super easy. Even Nancy said it herself at the end. She said, "This is easy." It was. The other puzzles were either obnoxiously stupid, like the ghost hunting puzzle. Oh my gosh, that frustrated me so much because it took me forever to get the lines exactly the same height and width, and it literally, that took me the longest of the game to complete, and it was just ridiculous. Same thing with the drawer puzzle. It was just tedious, and it felt more like the puzzles in, what is that game called? It's the one that takes place in the Caribbean. I didn't. That's my least favorite game, so that's why I can't even. But it reminded me more of the puzzles of that, because the puzzles in that game were also so stupid, and there wasn't that many, and the ones that were in it were just ridiculous, or they were super easy. Like, it didn't feel like a. Alright, so now that my camera has died for a second time, let us finish this video finally. So we were going on to the bad of this game. One of the biggest things is the wait time on it. It took 4 years to get here, and I kept giving them slack. I was like, well, they're going to a new platform. The whole company got revamped. They fired everyone and hired new people. Because these games have been with me for most of my life, so I was wanting to cut them some slack. But the quality that we got for waiting all of that time is not good. If we would have gotten like a high quality, amazing game, then yeah, it would have been worth the wait. But 4 years for what we got is a little ridiculous. Can we talk about the cover art? I got the physical game. I have all of the physical copies of all of the games, so I knew I wanted to pre-order just for the sake of getting a physical copy, if nothing else, to put it on my shelf. And I am so disappointed by this. For the pre-order, the name of the game isn't even on here. It doesn't even match. I'll insert some photos, it doesn't match what the rest of the cover art looks like. And I looked on Pinterest, and there's some amazing recreations that fans have done, and I wish that I have found their names. I haven't. If you're happening to see this video and you see your artwork, please let me know in the comments down below, or if you know who it is. But they would have looked beautiful with the other covers. But this, I mean, I mean, they're going in a new direction. They've clearly said that they're going to step away from the other games. Okay, but this, like, I would say it looks like an amateur doing it, but I think an amateur could do better than this. Like, this is one of my biggest criticisms. When the cover art originally came out, I wasn't impressed, and I'm still not impressed. Like, the only place where it says midnight in Salem is on the back, where it says don't be out past midnight in Salem. But other than that, it does, so you don't know what game this is. And I mean, it does have Mystery 33 on it, but I mean, like, I either wish if this was going to be like the Nancy Drew series, but a new sub-series, I wish that they would have marketed it that way. Or if it wasn't, that the cover art leaned more toward the other cover art. I feel like this is trying to be somewhere in the middle, but it's just not doing it.
It's not it. It's not it at all. This cover is so disappointing. It's, no, that ain't it. It ain't it.
No. So, the last thing that I want to cover, because the is kind of leaned more toward the bad, but I don't like on a scale. But the worst thing about this whole wait was how much Her Interactive played with our emotions, it seemed like. Like, first, it was, I don't even remember when the first time it was going to come out. It was going to come out sometime last year, and I think like spring of 2019. It was originally spring of 2019. It didn't. Or was it going to be before that? I feel like it was going to come out in 2018 and then it didn't. And then it was spring of 2019 and it didn't. And then pre-orders were going to be October 1st and they didn't. They had to wait another week. Like, I feel like their channels got crossed or something with how they outsourced everything, and they got some cross channels, and they needed to get that better together in a way so that we could be prepared not only to pre-order the game, but just it made us really nervous if it was actually going to come out or not. Like, for me, I would have preferred if instead of toying with this, it's going to come out here, well, no, we've had to push it back, it's going to be here, well, if they would have made it a longer wait if they needed it, instead of like keep giving us dates and then retracting them. And that just seems really, I want to again say amateur, but I don't, like, there's other companies like what is the guy that made Rides with Strangers, and like, I know his name is Adam, but Rides with Strangers and Welcome to the Game, I forget his, is it Reflect Studios, I think? Like, he's the only one doing development, and his games are, like, to the T. They're on point. And this is a company, and they don't have, like, half of their crap together that he does, it seems like. It's, like, I really worry. And along with that, this is a spoil. Well, I'm not going to give who the bad guy is or anything, but spoiler alert. But hello. For those of you who haven't played the game, at the end of the games, they usually tease the next game that's coming out. And this one didn't have that. And I was really afraid of that. And I read comments, like, afterwards. It's like, where's the end of the game? You know, where's our trailer? That was one of my favorite parts of finishing mystery, besides figuring out who the bad guy was seeing what the next game was about. But it leaves some questions open. Is the series going to continue? Like, is there going to be a new game? Is this the end? And I've, like, read the social media and stuff, and it doesn't, I don't know, like, they haven't come out and said this is the last mystery, but certain things, like, people are like, I can't wait for the next game and stuff like that, and they reply, we're glad that you're enjoying this one. Thank you for playing. You know, they don't say anything about another game. So I'm just wondering if they just made this one because it was teased from Sea of Darkness, and they're like, well, we teased it, we have to release it, here you go, that's the end. Or if they are going to continue the games, like, it kind of left it open, and it left us with more questions than we had when we went in with it. And it also kind of, the storyline, I don't want to give too much, but it made it seem like Frank has a crush on Nancy, and they kind of left that open, where Ned was, like, playing a video game with another girl in his room, and it may seem like they may break them up, and it's, I don't know. Like, I have more questions now than I did going into it, but overall, I think I'll play it again. If nothing else, just I have some funny video ideas for it, but I don't know. Like, I may get an inkling to sit down and play it again, but I don't know if it's one of those, like, Treasure in the Royal Tower, Curse of Blackmore Manor. No, not Curse of Blackmore Manor, though that is a good game. Warnings at Waverly Academy. Why did I get those two? Those two are my absolute favorite games, and I will always reach for those and replay them. Like, the other games, they all have replayability with the exception of Ransom of the Seven Ships. That's what it was. That's what it was. Except for that game, I don't reach for it as much. But they all have reachability in a way, like, I want to play them again. This one, I'm not that sure. Like, there's parts of it that I really liked. Then I think about that ghost hunting experience again, and I'm just like, nah, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do that again. But, oh, and one other thing, the Easter egg, it was so easy to find. Like, I didn't even know that I found it. I clicked on it, I was like, what's that? And she was like, oh, found it. I was like, huh? And I found the Easter egg. I mean, it was right there in the open. You didn't have to do anything for it. So it's just, I feel like the people who took over for Her Interactive have either not played the games at all, or have only just played one or two. Like, they don't understand how Nancy Drew is. And if they're wanting it to be another sub, like the Nancy Drew games, but its own game series, I feel like they should have marketed it that way instead of calling it Mystery Number 33. I actually think that would have been the better move for them, since they did get a new voice, they did change their gaming platform and everything else. Like, I feel like that would have been a better move for them instead of keeping it with the other games. But those are my opinions. I'm sure that there are others out there. I will leave that video that I was talking about in the down bar, just because there were some comments that had some links to other things, because on this channel I like to leave you all with a thirst and a hunger for knowledge. So I want you to form your own opinions and research and look at some other stuff and learn things just like I did to film this video. So yeah, I'll have the gaming links down below. I will say a lot of people have had trouble playing this on Mac, and it is available on Steam, but a lot of people have had trouble getting it to play from Steam. So I don't know. With that, I'm going to leave the video with me trying to install the game, just so you can see that. That is another big issue is the graphics card. A lot of people are saying that their laptops don't handle it, which is really sad because the graphics that are in it are not that good. Like, I don't know. It must be the gaming platform because the graphics, like, no, no. It should be supported, but I will show you the install that I did. I can't remember in the video if I said what computer. I think I did, but I finally got it to play on my Surface Pro 4, which on review videos said that it is not a gaming laptop, but you know, what can you do? I've made it my gaming laptop. But anyway, let me know your thoughts about Midnight in Salem. I will be doing not really a gameplay of it, but just some funny moments from it because I have a good idea for a video. And I may do some other Nancy Drew related stuff in the future. But yeah, this video is over. I hope that you enjoyed it and will stick around for other things in the future. Bye, guys. See, so as you can see, I have quite a lot of my Nancy Drew games installed on here, so we are going to get this bad boy installed, hopefully, so I can play it, since it's been literally forever. So is there not going to be a pop-up for it? Oh, wait a minute, I might be doing something. Nope. This is not a good sign if I have to go in and do this manually, but we'll still hope it works. Oh my gosh, I've already done this. Oh, okay. Guess I'll get rid of the other. Oh, okay. Okay. Alright, I'll check back in with you when this installs. One thing I'm going to say, like, the install screen is so boring. What happened to the other Nancy Drew games where it went through, like, all of the games? It at least gave you something entertaining to watch. I can't remember when they started doing that. I know it's in one of the later, not like super late, but no, even I think the first ones did something, didn't they? I don't know, but this is kind of a boring loading screen. You would have thought that they would have done something, but I guess they really are trying to get away from how they used to be. But I'll check back in when it's loaded. Alright guys, so it is finally done. I think it took about like 7 minutes. It wasn't too much, but it installed, and there is the little shortcut. It's very cute. I do like it. But I'm getting ready to install or get it going. All that's left is a window to my soul. Come and get it. Mouth to mouth, I breathe you in. Swallow down your jacket's in. Let it drown inside my veins. The sweetest poison I could take. You make it an art. The way that you scar with